Yeah, sorry.
Whoa, this ain't going.
Be down the side. And
But I appreciate everybody on the chat tonight for your comments. Well, good afternoon, bee folks. Hope y'all are having a good day. It's been a really good day for me. And I'm sure these boys are going to tell you that I got taken out for my birthday. My birthday is on the 25th. So I had dinner with my family, and it was absolutely great.
How old are you going to be, 30?
I feel like I'm still about 30, 31, 32, somewhere there.
That's what I thought. I figured that.
Yeah. So I think I actually hit 47. So I'm getting close to that 50 mark. So that's part of life, right?
There is.
But let's talk about bees. I'm more excited about that than my age, and I have done nothing in the bees, and I'm sure probably everybody can say the same thing with the cold that's went all the way down south. The snow has been incredible. Seeing it pile up to the south of us and not here in the mountains of North Carolina. So we know how you folks feel, and hopefully everybody stayed safe during this time. So nothing going on in the bees. I will say in 2 weeks, we're headed out to see Tom and Melissa at their conference, and I'm excited about that. If you haven't got your tickets yet, you need to do that ASAP. And I did work on my tickets today, and if I'm waiting on my cousin to see if he wants to go with me. So we'll get that knocked out here shortly. So anyway, Spanky, how's it going off the mountain? Still cold where you're at?
Yeah, it's still cool down here. Luckily, we didn't get none of that snow.
Yeah.
Down south.
Yep. That definitely felt good, didn't it? So, your bees doing all right, Spanky? Still in their houses, I bet, right?
Yeah, they were flying one day before the cold came. That nuke was flying real well, but everybody else wasn't really doing much.
Right. Yep. What about you, JW? You've had an exciting week. You and Tom have been everywhere, as it seems like. I mean, you've made Tom so famous he was on TV. So, I mean, I couldn't believe that.
I've seen that. That's kind of like watching reruns of the Little Rascals or something like that.
I was waiting for him to comment to that, and I never seen one. I was anticipating it, honestly.
No, I'm on my best behavior.
No, you don't have to be. It's quite all right.
We had a good time, I guess. My ears about wore out. I'm still in recovery mode from all that chatter.
I'm sure there wasn't a dull minute in that vehicle, except maybe some singing or something like that, you know.
Well, if you want to know the truth, the only time there really was a dull moment is when we were driving down the interstate and we were both sleeping.
Oh, that sounds pretty exciting to me.
Well, Boz, he's a really good driver. I mean, I give him an A+. As far as I'm concerned, if I was a state highway patrolman, I'd have signed his license and sent him on his way.
Yeah, I had my buddy with me. He's my only buddy, I guess.
Vision.
Takes advantage of me.
So, JW, did you get any snow, or did you guys miss out also?
You mean just over this past weekend?
Yeah.
Well, that was way south of us, but it, I don't know how far north it come. I don't think it come much past maybe Jackson, Mississippi, as far as inland from the coast. Everything
Right.
was the worst. Right there where I used to live in North Florida, they had 10 inches, which is a record for since they've been keeping records.
Yep.
Oh, they're
Maybe
in
we'll
Florida
get Lee.
Panhandle.
Yeah, maybe we'll get Lee on here real quick, and he can give us some stats on what's going on down there in the South. So with the temperatures and all that stuff.
He just gonna cry about how tough and rough and tough it is down
Yeah.
there.
We cold down here right now. I mean, we got so much snow coming around, it's falling in the office.
How did you get JW's hat?
Nah, we ended up with, I believe, about 6.5 inches of snow was about it. But that was more than I wanted.
I'm sure.
But I mean, we enjoyed seeing it as long as we were looking through the window. I tried to talk Renee into building a snowman for me while I watched her through the window, but she wouldn't go for that deal.
Oh,
Man,
boy.
wait till that stuff all gets off and you got all that muddy mess around you.
Probably about half of it or more is already melted, and now all next week we're forecasted for rain. Yeah,
Yep.
and
That rain is a good thing.
this Saturday and Sunday it's going to be almost 70 degrees here now.
Oh, nice.
After we were just at 11 degrees, so
Yeah.
it's
Talk
going to be
about
all
weather.
messed up. Yeah.
So is this a record for you down there, Lee, in your area? Have you guys ever seen that much snow before?
I think I've seen about that much snow, but they were originally saying that we were going to beat the record from like the 1960s, and then they were predicting back in the 1800s.
Wow.
But they were saying we were going to get 8 to 10 inches that day, and it only ended up 6.5, at least here at my house. Now, two areas south of us, I think, got a little bit more than we did because that north wind started blowing in about lunchtime, and it blew the rest of that snow just south and went under us.
So how much did New Orleans get? Do you know?
Nah, I hadn't even checked.
So I thought I'd heard a rumor that New Orleans was actually getting more snow than areas north.
Wow.
I think Renee said something about New Orleans got more than we did, but I didn't look to see what the depth was of it.
So Lee, you've been out in Louisiana your entire life, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, so how many snowstorms that you can remember? I'm not talking just little flurries or little 1-inchers that you can remember happening in Louisiana, where you're at.
I'm guessing that we actually had some accumulation of snow, not just touch the ground and melt. Maybe 6 times, 8 times.
Okay.
Just taking a guess.
Would you say that this snowfall that fell was the most memorable because of the depth, or had you seen more than that in the past?
I've seen about the same, but I want to say it was maybe 2012, 13, somewhere around there. I don't remember exactly what year, but in that range, we had, I'm wanting to say about 5.5 inches here.
Okay.
We still have ice and snow on the ground from when we got all that bad weather right after Nobby.
Mm.
It just hasn't warmed up enough for anything to go away yet.
It's going to this weekend and next week.
Yeah.
We're
Like I
gonna
said, I
see-
think about half or 3/4 of ours melted now, but by Friday, Friday and Saturday, it'll definitely be going at 70 degrees.
Oh yeah.
So like Keith is saying New Orleans got around 10 inches.
Okay. I don't remember who actually said that. And for some reason, and I could be completely wrong, Mike Berry put out a video and Joey did too, but I don't remember if it was Joey, and he's on here. He could say, I thought one of them had mentioned, for some reason, I want to say Mike, but I could be completely off base. Had mentioned something about that New Orleans was getting more snow or something of that nature on a video I watched of one of you all down south. So yeah, it was kind of odd because I had heard you all or somebody talk about, oh, I know who it was. I was talking with Dennis Cruz there at the Florida Georgia line today and for a little while, and we were talking about temperatures and snow and what he's seen. So where he's at, right where that little dip comes down into Georgia, goes down into Florida. He's right somewhere in there on the Florida side, barely. And he told me they got more ice. I think a lot of sleet, but enough to pull down some of the pine branches, which probably doesn't surprise me. Those probably bust on a stiff wind, branches. And he said some of the other ones, he had some branches down. Power lines came down in a couple different spots. And he said he was without where he was at for, I want to say it was maybe a day and a half, 2 days. So he had to make some provisions to stay warm there.
I just received a picture from Paul Hale here.
Yeah.
Get this brought up. Go to the right monitor, right button.
No,
That's pretty good.
Feel like they had the whole family there.
that's great. I love it. That's awesome. Those guys, Paul, you guys really put some work into that. That's pretty impressive.
I left out today. I had to run down to the cafe. Renee had a busted line down there that I needed to go kind of at least turn a valve off for and wait for the repair people to show up. Yeah. But as I was going out our neighborhood, they had a house a little bit further down here, and they had a snowman in their driveway. I figured it was about 7 foot tall, but with it up, he was it looked like the leaning tower. He was already kind of on his way down.
On his way down, yeah.
So tomorrow, I'm sure he'll be laying on his side sleeping.
Yeah. Joey said that was too dry. They couldn't make a snowball.
Oh.
Well, dog on it.
Should have got the water hose out, Joey, and let that snow down, and then you could.
No doubt. It was amazing how much snow went to the south of us and how people picked it up. And I was definitely interested in seeing the pictures. And even the coast of North Carolina, seen the beaches with snow on the beach and the waves coming in. It was pretty incredible for me to see that. But I didn't even think the snow would set on them salty beaches, salty sand. And it did accumulate at the beaches. So it was pretty cool. So is Clay Burner coming to Missouri?
Well, he keeps hee-hawing around on me, so let's put him on the spot. Clay, you coming or not?
I've got the paintings that Ruth has that we didn't get to the Nobby. I need to get to him. I've been sending him messages for him to get in contact. So if he goes there, we will be there. And I can just bring them. That would work out great.
See, another incentive to come to the workshop. Clay, Matt says Clay is coming. I'm close, just haven't pulled the trigger yet. Well, there's only like 48 tickets left to the experience side right now.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
Are you sure that's what the number is?
Well, on the website anyway, that's the number. I'm assuming that's accurate.
You must have had a bunch of cancellations. I thought you'd down to 30. The word's probably getting out. You don't think? Maybe something getting on to all your tactics and they're probably canceling.
No.
We haven't had anybody cancel.
Yep. I sent mine in this morning. I'm not coming. I'm mad at you. I'm mad at you.
Uh-huh.
Well, hey, you have a week to get over it.
So, Tom, tell us some stories about you guys going south. I know you got to meet Lee, man. How was that?
Oh, that was good. We got to see a studio, which is basically what I would like to call the Tower of Power. I mean, I had to know with all the lights and all the computer monitors and everything that was going on in there. He was heating the entire house with all that room. He just put the fan there blowing it out into the hall because there was so much heat coming from all those computer monitors and everything that, power he had, all that gear, so he was able to heat the house. And when I was outside looking, I was looking at the side of his house where the electric meter was at, And then the little counter thing was spinning so fast it was wearing the bearings out of it. So I think power company had to throw more coal into the burner to keep up with all the demand on it. But it was fun. It was really fun visiting with Lee down there. I mean, it was fun visiting with everybody. Just the whole experience was great. I mean, it was fine. I mean, it was JW had the best time of his life. So, I mean, there's that.
Come from miles around, Rick, just to see me. I was really strutting like a big banny rooster.
Was he strutting like that little text that you sent me earlier, Tom?
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. Looks something like that.
So you got to see Mr. Ed. Who else did y'all get to see down there?
Got to see, it's me again, Joey. Got to see Mike Berry. Got to see Randy McCaffrey and his wife, Elizabeth.
Russell.
Got to see Russell Amon, hang out with him for a little bit.
Cool.
Who else am I missing? Got to see Lee, of course.
You met Joey's son.
Yeah, I got to meet Joey's son. That was good. Trying to think who else. Who else are we missing, JW?
You missed me.
Who?
I said you missed me.
Missed
that was a
JW.
given. Hey, that was a given.
He got to see me, Rick.
Yeah. He put JW put so many miles in the truck, he had to trade it in today to get a new one, dumb wore it out. So drove all the place.
Was Paul Hill there? It says hot to see me.
Yeah, well, we didn't. I didn't get to see Paul. We were kind of down in the neighborhood, and actually, probably have you hung out longer. I thought Lee said that he wasn't too terribly far away.
Driving wise, I figure Paul's about 15, 20 minutes from me.
Yeah.
By bird flight, it's probably less than 10 miles.
What the heck? You guys missed out.
I know we did. I mean,
You got to go back into town, into Denham Springs, and then cross the bridge into Baton Rouge.
Okay. I think back the way we came in from, if I'm not mistaken, off the highway.
Yep. Y'all went back east.
I don't know. I got turned around.
We
So.
went back east, back to the interstate.
Okay. Yeah, you would have had to go west to the next exit.
All I know is my house was super quiet and I got a lot of work done.
No, she did.
Yes, I did. Look, Paul said he would have fed you too.
What? Let's
you
go.
Missed out.
Oh man.
And you got to make another trip now.
Yep. Let's fire. Hey, when you guys get rid of all that snow and get some heat, call us. We'll come back down. We're not coming back down in cold.
Well, if you leave tomorrow, you'll be here Friday evening, Saturday morning, and it'll be warm again and dry.
Yeah.
I left tomorrow. I'd be there tomorrow evening.
True. You just need another cup of that Death Wish, huh?
Yeah.
I think one more cup of Death Wish and JW would have ended up in Canada.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm telling you, he was stuck to the ceiling after he got in the truck like a cat.
I think y'all left here at what, 5:30, something like that?
Pretty close to there.
When we backed out your driveway.
5:15.
Yeah.
And then you had Tom home for what, 5 in the morning? 6 in the morning?
4:45.
Yep.
4:30?
4:45. We didn't really waste a lot of time. Just a straight shot, pretty much. A couple little stops for fuel and a quick bite.
There you go. Paul said the heat will be in what you eat.
Yeah. That's not me, Paul. I'm not the hot guy when it comes to that. What are you going to say? Go ahead. You got something lined up there.
When I was
I can't handle the heat.
She likes the hot stuff. I do not. That's not me.
I'm gonna have to steal that word that Russell Koopman used on the live yesterday. You a wussy?
Yeah, that's right. I'll take it. No problem.
Becky, you need to give Tom some of your spicy honey. Let's let him try it on air.
Oh, we had it.
I
We
tried
had
to
it.
give him some here. He
So
was just scared.
This is how not spicy Tom likes his food. his family, when you eat tacos, people put jalapenos on their tacos, right? Tom's family, dill pickles.
That's
so
spicy,
the jalapenos are Mexican pickles,
So that's what we call
and
them.
regular pickles are just
Pale white guy
just
pickles.
yeah, me pickles. So that's how that works.
The Mexican pickles, huh? I like
Yeah.
that.
So we call them Mexican pickles.
So I take the Mexican pickles. He takes the dills.
Yep, I take the lighter ones.
But surprisingly, dill pickles on tacos actually, they have to be chopped up really fine. It actually is good, as weird as it sounds. It's
I might
actually
try it.
good.
I got some dill relish I can sprinkle in there.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds not right, but it is actually good. Maybe Tom's a wuss after all.
Hey, JW, look, they're picking on me now. Does it make you feel better?
That's good.
That's good. Yeah.
That's good.
Jeremy, just about anything's good on tacos.
Yeah.
I know, right? Hey, me and Jeremy, that's right.
Oh, Tom could eat tacos every day.
Oh, every day. Hey, Jeremy, if I make it down to Tennessee and year round, all right, we're gonna go out. We're gonna get some tacos. You're gonna take me to a good spot that's got some superb tacos, and that's what we're gonna do.
That's adorable.
Taco Bell. That's the place.
Oh.
Yeah, but
Just ask Miss Ruth Roy.
Carl says, Tired. I love that comment.
Taco Bell.
Taco Bell from Ruth.
Love that comment about you being cute.
Oh.
It's adorable.
You need to try some of that hot food down there that Kaya's got, that Jamaican stuff. I bet that thing will burn you up.
Yeah. Whatever he's saying there, just the wording sounds hot. I'm out. I'm tapping out. Not in.
Your eyes are already burning from just looking at it.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I have nothing to prove when it comes to that. I'll be, there's no shame in my game.
You're right there, Doug. Spices to enhance, not dominate or kill you or burn your tongue out of your mouth.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes,
you talk about those
Really
hot
hot with
peppers,
flavor.
Mexican hot peppers and stuff. There's some peppers that come from Korea that'll make them ghost peppers. And them, Ricky, you been down there in Mexico? Them little, they grow wild. Them little round peppers.
Yep.
Are the hottest, to me, is about the hottest thing down there. And them kids that I'd go down there when I was working down there, some of them kids would carry them with them and just eat them by the handfuls, and I'd stick one in my mouth, and I couldn't hardly get my breath for an hour, but they just eat them like they was candy, them young Mexican boys.
John, I've thought about making some of that.
But there's a couple gals from Korea. When I lived down there in Florida, I had a lot of friends that was married to Filipinos and Koreans, the military boys. And them Korean gals had some peppers that come from Korea that was just, you just couldn't even hardly eat. They'd put hands on your blisters to try to slice one up. They was nasty things.
Wow. Yeah, I bet being Vietnamese food definitely has got to be hot. That's probably hotter than Mexican food by a long shot.
Whatever.
I tell you what, though, when it's cold weather, hot, spicy, man, it's perfect. Absolutely perfect. You need that keeps you warm, Tom.
I'm good. I'm good. I need my body to be warm, not my mouth and my,
I don't know. Talking to Tom the other day, I think he wants a big bowl of hot grits.
Oh, is that what it is?
I mean, I said this before. I mean, grits just do nothing for me. It's like, it's the texture that's off for me. I just don't like the texture. I mean, but really, if we're being honest here, grits don't taste like anything, right? I mean, I've had them before and I'm like, it's just, it's like eating rice, just white rice. There's no, you have to add something to it, you know?
Oh
There
yeah.
has to be
Well, I mean,
something
that's
in-
like anything that you're cooking. You got to add some seasoning.
Yeah.
I always put just salt and pepper and a little butter in mine.
I'm not saying that I wouldn't. I'm just saying I don't really prefer it, you know? But, you know, to each their own, I guess.
They're not really commonly. Really, the only place up here that you can get grits
Uh-oh.
is Cracker Barrel.
Easy there, Sawmill Charlie.
Cracker Barrel and maybe Waffle House. I don't even know. I've not
Maybe.
been to a Waffle House in forever.
Hey, Jeremy, look,
none around
here's the
us.
deal, man. You have all the, if we go out somewhere and I get grits and you get grits, you can have my grits, all right? See? Sharing is caring. So I will give them to you. And you can dose them up however you want. You know, you want to make them hot, you make them hot. You want to sweeten them up, whatever you want to do.
Randy says, "Stay off the grits." No danger on my part. My mom was a Southern gal. She stuck them
This is
grits.
where all the celebrities go.
Big enough to swallow. I'm not a grit either. I found out a way to eat them. I figured out. It took me a while. I take my tongues out of my work boots and put them grits in them tongues and put them in the oven and bake them for about 15 to 17 minutes. Take them out, throw the grits away, and eat the shoe tongues. I always fixed them.
Tom, nobody likes a quitter, by the way.
I know. I seen Jeremy did that. I see what he's doing there.
All the grit pickers down there.
Hey, I feel like this show is turning into a cooking show, right?
It does
That's
go
kinda
that
what
way,
we're
though.
doing right now. It's kind of where we're going.
Makes me hungry.
I know, yeah.
I know. I'll
Hey, I
taste
got some new
really
beekeeping
gumbo right about now.
that I got today. You want me to get it out?
Really sounds
To you?
good.
That's the only thing I
Yeah,
got
let's
in the
get some
house.
of that new bee equipment. And let's get back into the bees.
Yeah.
Hey,
Okay.
so every time we've been on the last, I don't know, month or whatever it was, I'm like, yep, I haven't been in the bees. I have no idea what's going on. So it's been frigid cold here, and yesterday it bounced up to like 37, which was pretty warm compared to what we've had the last couple of weeks. And so I was doing some work on the hot tub and had the guys out repairing a little bit on it, and I was draining it and doing some things. And I thought, well, I went down to, I have a handful of honeybee colonies there in my backyard. So I went up there, and I knew they weren't going to be flying, but I went out there and I started popping the tops on them, pulling the things off and looking at the clusters. And most of them had they were still clustered up pretty tight at 37. There was a couple of them I had in there that looked like they probably just dwindled down or something. I have no idea. I didn't really inspect them that closely, but a couple of them I had that were no longer, but for the most part, what I had back there seemed to be all right. And they were clustered up pretty tight. I'll probably hear as soon as we can get some warmer weather next week, I'm going to go and start treating with oxalic acid and then open them up again, checking for stores and seeing what we got in there. And I still have some fondant left over, the stuff Matt gave me, and some fondant patties I had left from last year. I'll probably throw them on there. And then
That's the newest acquisition for beekeeping equipment.
Oh, we got
boy.
Dr. JW here.
Stethoscope. I can't afford a flare camera, so I'm just going to use a stethoscope. I've been wanting for years, too tight to buy one. Cost me $16, $17. That's more than I like to spend on stuff.
You going to figure out if the bees have a heartbeat or what you going to do with it, just in case people don't know.
Listen to my bee boxes.
There you
can hear
go.
it there. I'm have to stoop over and hold my head against it, and they got snowballs off the ceilings now. So I'm going to use the stethoscope to check my bees, see if they're alive. That's all I care if they're alive or dead. I'm going to do that tomorrow, in fact. Supposed to get up almost 40 tomorrow here. 19 degrees here right now. That's all I could talk about. I got me a new beehive checker, a stethoscope. So probably laugh at me. That's the best I can do.
Where'd you get that fancy piece of equipment there, JW?
Yeah, JW.
Amazon's got them by the hundreds. They claim anywhere from $9 or $10 to $150, and I got the medium range was about $16 or $18 I think I gave for this one. Top notch stuff.
Hey Tom, did you check that open air colony while you was out checking your bees? Did you happen to look at it and see what people were
I
asking
haven't.
about?
I haven't been out there. I just was checking the ones in my own yard.
Okay.
I'll
Yeah.
guarantee you it's gone. I would bet you my life on it.
Ooh, what about like 50 grand? If it's still there, you can pay up. I'll give you my full name and mailing address.
He likes to
Heck.
email.
Heck, for that, I'll go hang one in the tree.
Yeah, he'll hang one in the tree.
More money than I'm making 17 lifetimes. High roller over there. High roller sauceman. No, I bet they're gone. He had his chance to get him, Ricky. I'm still gonna hold out against him. Poor old Jeff down there at the Abbey. He went out and got a big one, huge one, had it in the box, left it on the limb sticking out the side of the box.
Oh,
Yeah, he sure did. I have
Wow.
a picture
He
that I'll
put
send
video
over.
on it. I think he just put out the video a day or two ago, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. I have a picture I'll send to Lee if he wants to
I
pull it
didn't.
up.
Yeah, I didn't think about it while I was down there. I don't think I took a picture of that.
that's pretty cool.
I don't remember seeing.
So
a
what was
picture
his
of it.
idea? Was he just going
What
to
was
do
it?
like a
What
cutout
was
and
it?
spring with it, or what?
He gonna leave it in the box to see what it does. He got it inside and left a little hole where they could go in and out. They just let them use the same. It was an open air, and I'd say it'd be equivalent to the size of maybe a bushel basket full of bees, Rick.
I think it's what, probably about 3 foot tall.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, I just sent you 2 pictures, Lee. Yeah, I took a couple pictures of him. He said he's going to make a new box and put a piece of plexiglass on the side of it, or
Mhm.
maybe it wasn't plexiglass; it was something. Maybe it was just regular
He was
glass.
gonna leave it on the limb, and they cut off. You know.
I know he was going to build, like you say, I don't remember if it's plexiglass or regular glass, but he's going to build a viewing port on one side and be able to put a piece of wood over it just to keep the light out. But then when you want to see in, you can remove that. But that entire box,
Mm-hmm.
and it goes from side to side, top, and I think he says what, about 3 inches off the bottom.
Yeah, it was pretty
What he
close
said.
to the bottom.
That's what he said.
They just left the opening where the whole limb was, and that's where they're going in.
Wow, that's crazy.
That's right in front of the peacock cage
Mm-hmm.
where he keeps all of his boxes.
The original picture he showed us, Lee, it didn't seem that impressive, and until I seen the box it was in, I'm like, how big was this? And I'm looking at the box that you all just seen the picture of, and that's when he described. He goes, "Yeah, I don't have anything in the picture for reference." He said, "But it's," and I'm like, "Yeah, clearly." I'm like, if it goes that close to the bottom, that is, wow, that's impressive.
Yeah, you can see him demonstrating that back here. He's holding the limb and showing where the bottom is.
Yeah. That thing was probably pretty heavy too. I mean, I don't know how much honey would have been left in it, but I can't imagine that thing was light.
And we went to their local Joey and Mr. Ed and world famous Mike Berry that, you know, the YouTube folks would know. They all belong to the same bee club, and they happened to have a bee club meeting that night on Thursday night while we were down there, and we went to the bee club with him, and Dirt Rooster and his missus came over they drove an hour and a half or so. They're over at Gulfport, I think is where they're at, which is what, hour and a half down 10 probably.
Yeah.
To come over to the meeting. I think they heard world famous Tom Sauceman was down there. I think
No, I'm pretty sure it was you.
they wanted to get his autograph. They come over to get it. So.
They wanted to see your airplane. That's why they came over.
I think I'm going to get a new one. If you want to know the truth, I'm wore out.
Hey, I'll go with you to pick it out. Let me know when and where. I'll meet you.
They probably actually wanted to see him and Boz sing together.
Oh, I'm certain that's what it was.
You know what's cool is you guys getting together like that. And Leaf, you want to go ahead and mention your No Beekeepers Life thing that you've been working on. We'll go ahead and do that now. Just how beekeepers get together and connect. And I think that's so really, really cool. And I think Lee's come up with a really cool ideal. And if he wants to promote that real quick, we'll let him do that.
A lot of people don't like that Book of Faces thing. Some do, some don't. So I was trying to think of another way for everybody to be able to communicate. And me and Melissa was talking about a newsletter or something I was talking to her about. And I say, hey, just a way I can send out a link, and I planned on doing it like a Google Docs. And I would just send a link out and you could read a newsletter. Well, the more I thought about it, I said, I don't really think that's enough. I said, I think it needs to be something a little bit more entailed besides just a newsletter. So what better way for all the no-life beekeepers to get together and have a website? So you can go to the site. Yeah, I'm on the wrong screen. You can actually log into the site, and then you'll be able to click on groups. And it'll pop up, and it'll show the No Life Beekeepers group right here. And you can click the join button under that. Once you join, you can leave comments, post comments. You can add topics in here, and I will be adding more topics. And my computer's running slow at the moment because I got a lot open. But you can pick topics to put in there, and it will categorize them. That way, if you want to find something, you can just click a little search bar and tell it, I want to search for, say, a winter configuration. I just start typing winter, and it finds an article.
Mm-hmm.
You can click on that article and read, or pictures. You'll be able to click under members, and it'll have a members area with everybody in here. And you can follow each member. You can send them a message, whether they're online or not. If they're not online, when you send that message, it will send them an email. But if they are online and you click on it, you hit this little box here, you can actually chat live on screen with that beekeeper. You can start a new chat, see who's online, or you could do a group chat and add multiple people in there to talk to. And as far as the newsletter, you can go up to the No Life Beekeepers newsletter, and I'm going to have every month kind of laid out here. And after this whole year is over, then you'll have just says 25. So you could go back and look at all the historical newsletters that we'll be putting in for each year and each month. If you click on it, you got a table of contents, and the table of contents will actually be clickable. Let me make this a little bigger. But I can go down and say, I want to look at this article. Here's the article, who it's by. You can read everything. You'll have links in the article to be able to click on, or you can click on the name and be taken straight to their YouTube page. Let's see what else we got in here. YouTube viewers guide. If you want to know who's going to be live on a particular night of the week, click that guide and it's going to take you here. It's going to show you who's going live each day of the week, what times they're going. And if you don't want to search the channel, you can just hover over a name, click it, and you'll be taken straight to their YouTube channel. I just thought it would be a good little way for all the no-lifers to be able to get together. For the ones that don't use Facebook, they'll still be able to communicate, read some information, and just kind of join in with each other.
It's a website.
Yes, whenever you go to your profile in your account, they'll have a little lock next to like the name, first name, last name, phone number, and they don't see your email address. But if you want to reveal your first name along with your username, your screen name, you just click the little lock next to your first name, and then it'll show a globe and says your name, your first name is now visible. But you don't have to show your first name, last name, nothing. It'll show just your username, but it won't show your email. If they want to send a message to you, the site determines what your email is when you log in and make your account. And then if you're not online and they try to send you a message, it will email it to you itself. They won't have your email.
Mhm.
And to get to that, you can just go to nolifebeekeepers.com.
So what's amazing is the website looks really great, and Lee's done this just over the last week and a half. You put all this together.
Yeah.
I started last Wednesday, so a week and a day.
Yeah. So for him to put all this together in a week and be able to get a couple of people like Brian Zavada to do an article, and he has a few more people working on articles in the works for next month already.
Just in this first issue, we have Brian Zavada, Flower Street Farms, and Johnny Walker of Tennessee Mountain Bees. And I got a couple other people in the works. I believe Melissa had somebody in the works. And if you want to see who's kind of supporting us, you can click on that page and it'll take you to a supporters page, show who's supporting. If you want to check their website, all you do is click on their logo.
That's really cool.
Mhm.
Now, Lee, did you put the donate button on that website or not?
I did. I got to looking into it, and I'm not going to guarantee how fast the bandwidth is right now and how many pictures we'll be able to hold. We have 2 gigabytes worth of storage. So that's for pictures, videos, and everything. If we want to go to unlimited storage, it's going to run $160 a month. So you figure that out. I think it's like $1,900 and something a year.
Mhm.
And I don't mind coming out some money out of my own pocket, putting into this. But anybody that is willing to donate, and it's not a requirement, or we're not asking. But if you would like to, they'll have a donate button at the top of the page here. Now, it will say that it's going to Kodiak Farm, but it'll tell you it's for the expenses of the website. And if we have the website paid for and there's any extra money left over, we'll take that money. We might buy some gifts and do some giveaways and stuff.
Mhm.
It's just a way to support, but it's not a requirement.
Is that, is the money, like if you donate the money, are you going to get, or is the website or going to get all of it, or is there something going to, whoever you're using, are they going to take out a percentage of the donations?
It goes through PayPal, so that they do get a small percentage of that for transaction fees.
I can give you to pick up a website, just like for somebody to tell you a check where you get it all is what I'd rather do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't know of any that you're going to get every single penny of the money. Everybody's going to want to charge you some kind of fee.
No, I understand that part of it. That's the reason I was asking. But what I'm saying is, if you'll stick up, which I think I've got your address, and you may not want to put it out, but where they can mail you.
Yeah.
Mail you a donation check instead of giving 3% or whatever it is to PayPal. Which I've got a PayPal account, but I'd rather the
full amount
get 100% of the money than for them.
Mhm.
I may figure something out with that later and maybe get a post office box and be able to give out a PO address for anybody that would want to do that.
Yeah.
But that was just an idea that I had. I mean, it's still a work in progress. So if anybody does see any little problems on the site, I find so far that it does work better on the computer. Now you can look at it on your phone.
Mhm.
But there's little minor differences that I've been trying to adjust.
Go get Quack. Where's Quack?
But once I can get, I guess, the full funds for unlimited storage and everything like that, then the bandwidth should pick up. We'll be able to load all kind of more stuff on there.
Mhm.
But it's just a project that I want to work with. And anybody that's willing to support, thank you very much.
And Philip asked, can he Zillow that to you, Lee?
I'll have
Yeah.
to check with my bank. I know I have that on my account, but I don't remember my login on that, how to get to it. So I'll have to call my bank and get that set, and then I'll holler at you, Philip.
Spanky, somebody says your beard looks pretty good tonight. We could just post that on that No Life Beekeepers chat
Huh.
also.
Hey, there you go, Tom. There's
You
that
got-
smile you were looking
Ricky
for.
got him to smile. I seen it.
I got him to crack it. I think that's a really good idea, Lee, and I'm willing to donate some money to it just to see it grow, and it's good to have your logo on there. If people go on and they want to see your YouTube channel, that'll pop up.
Yep.
I even told you maybe later on, I'd be if you had enough vendors like me, on there, we'd be able to just to give you some money, donate some money every year to that especially if it grows, right? If there's enough traffic on it, you're going to get vendors like me say, hey, I want my name on that page to help support it and get my name out there. So I think that's a great idea.
Lee, there's also an events page on the website, right?
I'm going to be working on an events page. That way we can log in and basically just kind of like y'all did this past year with the No Life Beekeepers dinner. You'll be able to do like RSVPs and stuff like that. And then on the blog side, if there's any events coming up, that we'll be able to put in the blog itself.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can run down and just check, see what's coming up. But we can also post that in the groups page.
Mm-hmm.
This was the No Life Beekeepers dinner here.
Yeah.
Oh, look at those two.
Yeah, who are those guys?
Look at those guys.
Like I said, it is a work in progress, and I've been almost nonstop for the last week and a day working on this till 10 or 11 o'clock at night.
On the newsletter, though, didn't you have like hyperlinks on the newsletter to like the workshops and stuff like that? So if anybody has an upcoming workshop, let Lee know and he can add it to
the newsletter. We'll put that on the
newsletter.
resources, and if you just click, it'll take you to that page, and you can click on any event that may be in here. And if we get enough, I say articles, enough information, I want to try to put out a monthly newsletter. If not, I would like it more than quarterly at least, but we need enough information to be able to put one out rather than just putting out like one page of something.
Yeah.
Pull the group back up where you actually post and stuff. So DC mentioned the videos would be hard, but I told DC just offload that to YouTube or another.
Yeah. Well, if you're wanting to post a
post it.
video, you can click share. And then if you click right here for add video, you can actually put in like a YouTube link.
There you go.
Now, once we get unlimited storage, then you will be able to upload a video itself. But right now it would fill up within a day if everybody jumped on and started putting videos. But if you got a YouTube video, you can put the link right here, and then that will put it into your comments, and people will be able to click on that link and go to your video.
So you can put a little explanation about what the video is and put the link there, and people can go check it out. Is that right?
Yep. Yeah.
Awesome.
And then you'll be able to go in, you can click the like button, you can add emojis and everything. Say, here's a bee here.
We need some custom emojis if they let you do that.
I'm wanting to check into that because I want to put like a little No Life Beekeeper emoji somehow. Now, the little logo that we got right here, this is what Brian Zavada of Flower Street Farms actually did. He used an AI program and created that, and he sent it to me and said we were more than welcome to use it on the site.
Yeah, those are the stickers he was handing out at Nobby.
Yeah, I'm going to wait for probably somebody up there to take and Photoshop a JW emote. You know they're going to if you let them have that power.
I don't know. According to Tom, that would probably be a big sticker because Tom's always talking about how big JW's head is.
You're muted.
You muted JW. He may have been muted on purpose. We might not have wanted to hear what he had to say there.
Probably so.
I wanted to hear it.
I had to, my wife was hollering at my dog. He didn't bring his quack back in, Tom, when he went out a while ago. So
Oh, I
he
see.
was hollering at him. That's the reason I muted her. You'd all been deaf. She hollers loudly. So,
Probably like Melissa sneezes. Everyone goes deaf around her when she sneezes.
yeah.
Leave him out, Philip says.
Yeah, I like that comment there. We're not relying on that book of faces because some people don't mind it, some people don't like it. So I just figured this might be another option that we would have to everybody stay in touch and have information.
Philip Morris can feel included because he's one of the. Well, you too, Lee. You're not on Facebook either.
Yeah.
Mm-mm. The last thing I had was MySpace, and I didn't even do that. My ex put that up, so I couldn't have told you
That's
what was on it
hilarious.
at the time.
Holy cow! When was that? Was
That
that?
was like right
Ooh.
after we graduated high school.
That was
2005, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was late '90s, early 2000, I think.
I was never on it. Well,
Yeah.
I guess I did have a profile, but I never went on it.
I never created one.
Well, so far we're up to, let me refresh this. Look like we're up to 25 members right now on the site.
Already?
Yeah.
Ricky's got himself a good back scratcher there. I see.
There's what
You're
you
muted.
need.
by the
Oh.
way. You're muted.
Spanky's got one too.
Uh-oh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Those back scratchers are-
My back's been out for the last few days, so I needed something to kind of help massage it a little bit. And a good
Yeah.
little back scratch will help. Lee knows how that back issue is.
All too much.
I believe the wife hit me while I was sleeping that night, so a few months ago.
I tell Renee that almost every morning. I told her she must have had a bad dream or something because she was elbowing me and punching me, trying to kick me. Something happened during the night because I wake up hurting.
So I have a question for y'all. After we do these lives, do you ever go back and rewatch them?
Sometimes, yeah.
So I'm gonna tell on myself here.
Uh-oh.
So Tom and JW were gone last week during the live, right?
I knew she was
So-
naughty, JW. I knew it.
No. So when he got home, he wanted like a day or two later. He's like, "Oh, I want to miss that. I want to watch that live from the other day." And so it was right before we went to bed, and we're laying in bed, and he's watching it, and I'm on my iPad doing whatever because I was on the live, so I don't need to rewatch it. Well, he kind of fell asleep, but like out of the corner of my eye, I kind of catch it, and it was the part of the live where Brad was on, and you were talking about sponsoring kids, and Ricky, you had just talked about how you were a sponsored kid when you were younger and how grateful you were for all that.
Yep.
And I think I like shaking my head saying, yeah. And then out of the corner of my eye, I see myself make like the weirdest face ever. And I turn my head and what I do? It's like I had a mini seizure. I'm like, I don't even recall making that face or anything. We watched it probably a dozen times, and I had the worst headache from laughing. And it was like, I looked like I was so revolted by what you had said.
We'll have to pull that up, Lee, man, and find that sometime or another. So we all can get a good laugh out
Tom's
of it.
got it on his phone. He can send it to Lee right now.
Oh boy.
That'll be a custom emote.
But it was like I'm like, that could have been like the worst timing for me to make. So like, I don't know, it's like something was in my mouth, like a hair or something, and I just like made it was the worst. Oh,
I
you
can
can't
see
share
Tom
that.
laughing over that for hours that
yeah.
night.
Did you hear me?
In here?
Yeah.
Oh, here's.
But anyway, so it was just, I barely caught it out of the corner of my eye. I'm like, what did I just do? And he was asleep. I'm like, what did I just see? So I'm like searching for the remote on the bed. And it's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I made some weird face. I'm trying to rewind this. And he's like, what? And so we rewatched it, and it was just, it was the worst thing ever.
We'll show that before he pops up your little video there. That was pretty cool seeing our little horizontal hive that we made for Paul there. And like Lee said, each little, shelf had its little snow on it, little roof. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Take some of those winter photos for the honey show next year, guys.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was Jamie and Brandy's Sweet Harlan honeybees. Their photo, black and white, with icicles hanging from their hive, is what won first place in the black and white photos at the honey show.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
It was pretty nice.
How many things did they win? Because they're usually, they win about everything there, So what all did they win this year?
Jamie was on here. Jamie, how many, if you're still on here, how many ribbons did you win? I want to say they got 4.
I think it was 4 or 5
ribbons. 4 or 5, yeah.
Did they win their wax like they did the year before? That real pretty wax that Jamie made?
I don't think he ribboned in the wax, but I think he placed. They got, I think, 2 ribbons in photography, and I think she got first place for her candy, her salted, or was it second place?
I think it was second place for the candy. She had some caramels that
It
she
was
made.
so good.
JW, did you have any of those caramels when we were back at the hotel or the hotel lobby?
Matt and Alicia had them. They were so good.
They were pretty good.
I didn't taste them.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they were pretty good.
So,
But, yeah.
JW, is that your new beehives behind you there? Is that a new method you're trying out this year?
That's what I use for my bees. Yes.
That's
What do you
bumblebee
call
hive.
it?
It's a new style skep.
Yeah.
It looks like the wax candle we have called the Thatch House.
Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah.
You young bucks probably don't even know what that is. Anybody know? You guys know what those are?
Well, he just told us it's a thatch house.
Yeah, well, that's not what it is.
It's called shock and hay. We use the sling blade and throw it up in the big old pile.
Well, I'll show you. I'll put up another picture up here. I'll show you how they do that. They shock it by hand. Shock it by hand. That's what they call it. I'll show you how they do it. Hang on.
How many ribbons did you get all together, Jamie?
Black and white was first. Yeah.
And then she got second on her honey caramels. Or caramels, if you're fancy.
Mm-hmm.
But they were absolutely delicious. I could have eaten her entire container.
Was that one of your fields, JW? That they were.
That's some of my Amish buddies. That's a horse-drawn binder. He's cutting it, and that makes it in a little bind. And his brother stacks all them up. They put, I think they stand up 5 or 4 or 5, and then drape one over the top of them for a cap.
Mm-hmm.
They leave it in the field, then they take them in, and you've heard of the old-fashioned thrash machines. They still use them. I've got a picture of them doing that too.
Yeah. Philip was in here earlier. I don't know if he's still in here tonight. He was commenting earlier though.
He may be working on something and just watching. I know he does that a lot.
Yeah. Making us all feel like slacker beekeepers while he works away.
Every time we're on here, he's working on something. It's like, man, I need to be doing the same thing right now.
They're running through a thrash machine, and they're coming out, and the straw, they've got a installed filler with the motor on it.
His head's buried.
Off, and they're doing it all in one. They're converting them. They're thrashing the oats out of them shocks that I showed you the picture of, and goes through the thrash machine, and they get the grain out of it, and then they bale the straw, and he's stacking it on the wagon.
It's like some
Two
poltergeist.
brothers do all that with themselves.
Oh, he just commented right before you, DC. He's there.
You're stressed over my bees more than his, and I wanted to say thank you. DC, what's the temperatures up there in Washington? I mean, is it just as cold as it is down here in the South? I mean, are you guys warmer up there? I know they get some ocean breeze, so maybe he doesn't get quite as cold. Yeah, Sweet Harlem posted something here.
Yeah, 4 ribbons.
So he placed 5 times, but he brought home 4 ribbons.
That's pretty good. They're always winning something. They're crafty, and she definitely can cook. So I know the year I seen them, they had a whole truckload of stuff they had brought. It seemed like or bought. So
Honestly, competing against Jamie is what got me into this whole honey show nonsense.
Oh,
because of his wax block and stuff that he had.
Well, since she got that many, how many ribbons did you get, Melissa? So we must throw that out there.
So we only brought home 2 ribbons from Nobby, but we had 4 placements.
Yeah.
No, 4, 5, 6 placements, but 2 ribbons.
And what were the 2 ribbons that you placed in again?
The bourbon honey,
and
the scenic photo. Both.
What did the bourbon honey end up getting?
3rd place, because one of my jars was slightly underfilled.
Oh my gosh!
But it was slightly underfilled because I had just warmed it before we left the hotel room to take it over to the entry. And, when honey cools, it kind of shrinks down. So I think, when it cooled, it went below that. I thought it was, when I entered it, it was at the fill line, but as it cooled, it kind of shrank down. So that was totally my fault.
Probably a bad
I heard a rumor that JW kind of took a little taste test of that, and that's why it was a little on the short side.
Jamie, you are correct. I was told
she got
the
3rd
same thing
on that bourbon honey.
I was told whoever ordered the ribbons, I guess, didn't realize they were supposed to order them for 4th, 5th, and 6th place also. So they only ordered them for 1st through 3rd. So yes, if you placed 4th, 5th, and 6th in any categories at the honey show, I was told they're ordering ribbons and they will be mailed to the recipients.
And there's a honey show this weekend in Waukesha, Wisconsin.
And you guys are going to be there, is that correct?
Last minute decision, yes. We will be there.
Are you going to enter anything in? Is the next question.
Undecided. Depends on what I can accomplish after we get off this live tonight.
Oh, man.
There is a company.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, guys.
I said there is a All right, Ricky, you go.
I'll go ahead. I just want to say before we get back to Tom there, is it bugs me when it's one bottle had a thread on the inside of the jar. It's those little things that doesn't have anything to do with the honey itself. I don't know.
But here's the thing, though.
It's presentation.
If his bottle has a thread on the inside and one that is exactly the same as his doesn't have a thread on the inside, which one is going to place higher? Yep. The one with the thread or the one without the thread?
Best? Which one tasted the best? That's me.
But that's what Black Jar is about. Taste.
Okay.
So you have different categories for different things.
Yeah. All right, Tom, go ahead.
Yeah, it's all rigged.
I was just going to say there's actually a company that's up there only about 20 minutes from Waukesha, Wisconsin, that actually will, we'll do different things with your honey if you need them to. So we were actually looking into taking our honey up there and having them put it into honey straws for us and creating a custom wrapper that goes on them for a very, very affordable price. So we don't have to actually fill. We can still use our honey, but we don't have to do the process of putting it in the straws. They have a full automated system that they can do that with. and put it in individual wrappers with your logo and 3 lines of information for you. So we're going to go that route. So luckily, we're going to kill 2 birds with 1 stone when we go up there. We can drop off those 120 pounds of honey with them and get that process rolling. And then we get to see the show and everything up there.
Carl even said that he got deducted for his lid didn't fit tightly.
Yeah, that's what he had said, told us. But, and it was like a manufacturing issue, wasn't it, Carl? It wasn't even like. I think that's what he had said. It was like from the manufacturer, like the lids were the right lids, but for some reason they didn't fit. I don't know. I can't remember what he had said. Yep, smudges, they'll get you.
Yeah, Jamie, if you are interested in knowing the company, I can send you the information, but it was very affordable.
Man, like,
But
yeah.
Melissa, what if somebody comes and picks your bottle up?
They don't. Nobody. So when they take when you give your exhibits to the secretary, the stewards take your exhibits. They are wearing gloves, cotton gloves, and take them into the honey display room. The only people allowed in that room are the honey judges. And in that room, everybody is wearing gloves. Okay. So nothing can get fingerprinted after you hand it off.
Okay. But what if you have a little drop of honey on the outside of your jar and you lick it off?
Well, then you got a big smear, and
you can do that.
You're not gonna place.
Oh boy.
It is very like, I mean, I understand how some people are like, that's just stupid. Like, I totally get it, but there's different categories for different things. If you want to know if you have the best tasting honey, that's what the black jar is for. If you want to know that your presentation is spot on, that's what the the extracted honey is for. You know, there's different categories for everything.
I'm with Paul. It's a beauty contest. That's why I have a hard time with it.
It's a precision beauty contest at that.
I thought about entering it myself, Ricky.
I think I'd make a good blonde in that honey show.
There you go.
All right. It took me a minute. I had to take it from my phone, email.
Oh my
it.
God.
Oh boy.
Did you watch it? Did you watch it first?
I called it the other night.
Were you thinking, what is wrong with this lady?
I thought maybe you had a bad taste or something. But for anybody that didn't catch it, here we go.
There.
She's stinking.
I think she's sticking her nose.
She is.
Sticking her nose and eating the boogers.
What'd you stick your tongue out for, Melissa?
What is that?
It looked like she threw up her tongue. She's like, she's throwing up her tongue.
She got a bad booger.
What is that? I do not recall doing that at all. It's like I had a mini seizure and I don't even remember it.
Hey, JW, I have no idea what this woman is doing when we're gone. It just baffles me. She can't act right.
And I felt so bad because it was literally like, if you go back and rewatch it, it is literally right after Ricky, you said, I was so touched by them giving us money so we could buy presents. And I turned my head and made that awful face.
She can be hateful at times.
Hey, Lee, can we put that on the bloopers page on the No Live?
Yes. Yeah, definitely do that. Hey, I'm sure
that can be handled.
I'm sure Lee can probably really edit that photo or that thing up too. I would recommend going to the old live from the old recording, because that was just me recording with my phone in the dark against our TV screen that was 15 feet away from the.
James Knoll noticed it. That I swear, like
that was on Ricky's live last week. Now, right?
I have no idea what that was.
I thought so. I'll go back. I'll cut it out there.
That's funny.
Hey, James, I have a question for you. So when you seen it that night, what did you think? Only honest thoughts. No,
He's
don't sugarcoat it.
he's
Honest
probably
thoughts.
like, what is her problem?
It's called live and unedited.
That was horrible. Like I was laughing so hard after we saw it and we watched it 500 times that I got the worst headache.
Is that
Yeah.
why we had so many views Thursday? It was from you doing that? I mean, because the views were way up
Maybe
last
so.
week. So
Yeah. Hey, Joey, she's going to have to pay for that. That's not free. She's going to have to pay up for that.
Oh my
Drinking the
gosh.
bourbon, honey.
That I felt so bad. I felt so bad because I'm like, if anybody notices that when it happened, like James clearly did, they're probably thinking she's a horrible person. Ricky just put his heart out there and she's like, what?
Hey, yeah, Philip brings up a good point. So I've seen that show a long time ago, Grimm.
Oh,
Melissa
yeah.
and I, so I don't watch TV anymore, but Melissa and I actually used to watch that show, and I hated it because it's a series. On
Well, we
those.
binged it over winter
I
when you were
hated
home.
those shows, but you could not watch them, right?
DC repeat.
But yeah, that's exactly right, Philip. That they had some type of weird stuff on there, some shapeshifters, and that's what I said to her. I'm like, "Are you shapeshifting? What's the deal here?" I can't
So
even-
James thought it was a hair. See, I don't remember even doing it. So I'm like, maybe I did have a hair in my mouth, or like I said, just some weird.
Lee, I think we need to see that again. I don't know if that was a hair look. I think we need to see it one more time. Come on, man.
Hey, Phil, that could be arranged. We can get that entered next year. We're gonna drum it up. I'm gonna have to work with Lee, and he's gonna really get that doctored up for us.
Oh,
Oh, here she
we're
is.
like,
I mean, who does that? And then she comes,
Oh,
and then hold
live
on.
TV.
Everybody, now go back to it. Go back to it. After she does the tongue out, she comes back with a perfectly straight face. Watch. Watch. Straight face. Wide eye. I mean, who does that kind of stuff?
It's like she had to come with some kind of smelling salt or something she put up her nose.
Yeah, that's right, DC. Melissa does do that. I don't even know what to say right now. It's crazy.
oh my gosh.
No,
Oh my goodness.
this may seem silly, but I literally watched that thing probably 20 times and I laughed for I don't know how long. I'm like, I don't understand. I'm like, what are you doing? Yes, that's right. The mother of my kids. I don't know how to break the news to them, DC.
Oh man.
For this video.
They would just, if I told them, they would look at it, laugh, roll their eyes, and walk away.
There you go, Ricky. Gary said make that the thumbnail for this video.
Oh, that was good. Oh boy.
Oh my gosh.
If Tom would have sent that to me earlier, I could have done that.
Yeah, that would have been funny. Hey, now look who's famous. Now look who's famous.
She is famous.
Their spotlight.
Oh man. Yeah, I seriously, like I said, he had just fell asleep and I honestly caught it out of the corner of my eye. I'm like, what just happened to my face? So I rewound. I'm like, wait, what is going on?
You need to put that on a YouTube short, and that'll be like you get 1,000 hits on that instantly.
Oh my gosh.
I
Get
think
even
I
ads.
on JW singing with Boz, I got over 500 in 5 minutes.
Whoa.
You're gonna get the next big break. JW and Boz live in person.
10,000 likes. Here we go.
Yeah. That would be funny.
Yeah.
Oh.
It was. I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh my gosh. Yeah.
It was good. It was
Nervous
fun.
to see what you put on there, Lee. I'm about afraid to look.
Well, you
Oh, it was
can keep
bad.
watching the screen because it's about to come live.
Here it comes.
Oh,
Live and in person, folks. For one night only. JW and Boz.
There we go.
Hold on. Which one don't I have? Oh. I didn't have the volume turned on there. Still don't. Let's try this one more time.
You can park anywhere you want right here, JW. There's a big hole ditch right here, so don't land in it.
You were my best buddy.
They're both pretty good.
Yeah, they both got a good tune to them, don't they?
Oh, I'm guaranteed. Yeah.
It's
They
going
can take
back to
that.
the back end of that Abbey grounds when I didn't even know he was taking it. Ed wanted to see Tom was talking about seeing Boz sing. I didn't know if I could get him to do it or not.
Boz doesn't like to be put on the spot. I can tell you that because he didn't want to do it whenever everyone was looking at him. when it was in the natural, he was okay. Which was JW. Oh, that's
Good question.
So when Tom went to go do this live thing for the news this morning, there was a lady, I guess, and her husband there with the local animal shelter, and they had a 7-month-old pit mix type dog.
It might have been some kind of terrier, but also something else because it had spots on its hind.
Super cute.
Yeah.
Just really cute. Quiet the whole time. Was letting everybody pet her, well behaved, like followed commands, everything. And then the camera come out and they were kind of getting some shots around and the dog was fine. And then like they started rolling live and that camera got really close up and that dog did not like that camera close up and it did a couple little growls. I'm like, oh.
It was more of a bark and you could tell the dog backed up because the dog was scared. I don't think he understood and knew what was going on. And those people pivoted pretty quickly because they quickly pulled out food and put it in the dog's mouth. And I'm like, well, that didn't come off as good as they wanted it to. But I'm like, I told that lady, I'm like, that's a cute dog. I'm like, that dog will be gone tonight. She's like, yeah, I'm sure it will.
But I felt so bad because I'm like, oh, that dog was so precious and well behaved the entire time. And then, of course, as soon as the camera goes live, it gets scared by the camera and doesn't seem as sweet and, nice as it was.
Hey, thanks, Brian. Appreciate you, buddy. That's exactly right, Gary. 100%. Yep. It's just all live and in person. The flaws and the
good laughs, good people. That's what it's about.
That's right.
Melissa, I always tell people that you only pick on the people you like. If we didn't like you, we wouldn't even talk to you. So
hey, I brought it up, right? So I put myself out there. I'm all good with it. It's all good. Actually, I just didn't want people to think that I was repulsed.
Yeah, she didn't have me on there to post any blame on, so she had to figure it out for herself, right?
Oh my gosh, it was that was a mess.
Yeah. Apparently she had fun while we were gone and we had fun while we were gone.
I agree.
It was a good time. But I'm really looking forward to everybody comes over and visits in St. Louis. I'm really looking forward to that. You know what's really odd about it is they actually voluntarily give me the microphone for the one side, the experience class.
Oh,
and they know better.
I mean, I'm telling you. They actually volunteered me for the TV spot today. And I asked them if they were glutton for punishment. They know what they're getting into, but I didn't get too much of the speaking part. Yeah, he's always black guys. I'm the troublemaker.
Oh, he's definitely a troublemaker.
I'm a good guy. I just, just try to make trouble with you. Hey, Brian, you could come up there. I'm sure they have flights out tomorrow morning. I'll pick you up from the airport.
That's a good deal.
Flying to Milwaukee. Only steak and potatoes, though. Yeah. Hey, Paul, no grits. Sorry, you guys can have it. You guys keep the grits. We'll keep the steak and potatoes here in the Midwest. Yeah, corn too.
So how many are you guys got planned on attending for the Missouri conference? What's the maximum number that you guys are looking at?
400 is the max that we can have.
Yep, 200 and 200.
Okay.
So
we want to get it. We want to keep everybody comfortable. Is the goal. I really do like this venue space that we have a lot better than we had last year. The venue space we had last year was fine, and it was it was very accommodating. It just was, I didn't like the distance between the two classes for one. I didn't like that the vendor space seemed a little tight. And
the bathroom situation was
the bathroom
ideal.
situation, I think, was not ideal. But this space is much more accommodating in all ways. I mean, we're paying more for it, but in all ways, it'll be a little better.
So DC's got a question. So I have a question. What is the national average of yearly survival? Does anybody know? I was always told me if you got 3/4 of your bees through winter, you were doing good. So I don't know what the national average is though.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's a good question.
I'm probably off a big wad, but I was thinking I read someplace where they said that like the national average was 40% loss.
I think we're looking at
High to
60%.
me, but I sound like a bunch, but seemed like I read that someplace. I won't say where, and I may have dreamed it and didn't think I was reading or something, but I think I read in a big journal. That's been a few years back now, but 70%, 60% survive. I think that's right, Philip. I mean, I think I read that 50% fail each year. I don't know. I think they said the national average is 40% loss, so I'd be 60% survival. Maybe I'm not as goofy as I thought I was, but I wasn't sure about that.
It's pretty low. I know that's for sure. And it's hard on all beekeepers. And that's, again, it's good to have 3 or 4 hives just because, if you lose a couple, you're still good for the spring.
Yeah.
I always feel like those losses are harder to take when you don't have as many colonies also.
Sure.
I mean, because if you have 10 colonies and you lose 40%, you're losing, you only have 6 left. Where if you have, 50 colonies and you lose that, you have so many more that you can still make splits off. You're going to have to make splits off of in the spring and whatnot. It's easier. I feel like it's easier to recover your losses when you have more colonies.
So I think the number you were talking about, 40%, I thought that I'd heard him talk about that this year and heard some numbers spit around, but I think that's not winter loss. That's over the entire season of loss.
Yeah,
so
okay.
That changes the perspective just a little bit. It's not just winter loss. So, I mean, if you made splits and the colonies didn't grow, or you had harsh conditions, maybe it was really dry and you didn't feed them enough, or whatever that might be, or you pulled too much honey, the list goes on, that you're going to lose maybe a small percentage then throughout the year, but then, whatever you might experience, which would probably most likely be a little greater over the winter time. And that says the average survival is 70%. So a 30% loss.
Yeah. And that's what I was thinking, between 20 and 30.
Yeah, that's another thing I wondered too about that, Gary, is they also estimate 59% of hives are not registered. They only can draw conclusions off of what they know, right? So, and I mean, it's almost impossible to keep it at 100% accuracy as far as how many colonies there were and all that stuff. And even if they made it some sort of mandate or law that you had to, every state had to do that, you're still going to see a large percentage of people not disclose what they have. Some people just like to keep themselves private on that, and I get it.
I would say in my county alone, I know there's like probably 10% of the colonies actually registered with the state. The rest of them are not, because I can look on the map and see them, and I know way more beekeepers than what's on that list. So I'd say 9% of our area is not listed.
Are you guys supposed to register in your state?
No.
Okay.
No. The only reason you register in their state is if you register and someone sprays a pesticide, they're supposed to go on that website and check it out. And they spray a pesticide out for, say, Christmas trees, and they don't check and they spray your bees in that area and they die, they're liable for that. They actually have to pay out for that. So.
Hey, Peter, you can come to St. Louis. No snow here.
Well, there is, but it's old snow.
Yeah. Roads are all clear.
What is the weather for that week?
Say again?
What is the weather for that week?
Ooh, that's a good question. I don't know the answer to that. Hold on a second, though. Hey, is anybody in the chat from Wisconsin that I don't know about, or near Waukesha? Let's see. I can only go out to
Philip, I think that's a riddle, is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I can't get that far out, Ricky.
Okay.
Sorry.
Just when y'all find out, let me know.
Yep.
Then let me know if I need to come up earlier Thursday than later Thursday.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. When it gets closer, I'll touch base if anybody wants to know what the weather's supposed to be like. This is a long range out, but there's some amateur weather forecasters around us here that we're talking about it. They said right now he doesn't see anything as far as anything that looks impressive until like the second week of February, I think. So which is after our deal. So I don't know, maybe it'll lay low for a little bit. It'd be nice to get a few warmer temperatures in here to thaw some things back out again. And this being frozen, all we can't do anything out there right now. It'd be nice to thaw
The long range forecast I've looked at, Rick, is for this area. They're not showing much more like what I call bitter cold weather. They may be but it may be below freezing at night. Like in the 30s or high 20s, but high 30s, 40s, and some 50s. For the long range for this general area after this weekend, supposedly. What they're showing. Or mine is I've got 2 or 3.
So for the extended forecast for St. Louis is going to be in the mid to low. So the 6th is 45, 7th is 47, Saturday the 8th is 41, the 9th is 33 with a rain cloud.
and then 42 the next day, and then 51.
But everybody will be gone by then. We're worried.
Yeah.
Okay. I won't be bad.
Hey, Ricky, I'm just curious, and you don't have to answer this on here. We can chat afterwards. But if you're coming up, were you potentially going to stay in the hotel that's attached?
I haven't really looked at the hotels yet. I was just trying to get an answer from my cousin right now to see if he's going to come with me or not.
We can chat later, but I think Melissa and I, even though we're not terribly far away from the thing, maybe 25, 30 minutes, I think Friday night into Saturday, Melissa and I are going to stay at the hotel because I'll be up late helping the vendors get squared away, and then the dinner thing that's going on and all the politicking and song and dance JW is going to do.
Right.
And then Saturday morning, I'll probably be down there at I might even beat JW down there. I'm probably down there between 5 and 5:30, helping any vendors coming in get set up and squared away.
Yeah. I just haven't made that decision, but we'll definitely talk after the show cancels or ends out here just for a few minutes.
And I think too, Matt and Alicia, Matt at Sandy Valley and his wife Alicia, we're planning on Saturday night after the conference is over. We have to for a short time entertain the speakers and get them dinner and stuff. And we're going to do that at the hotel conference center. We're going to supply a meal there for them. But after that's over, I think Matt and them were planning on going to a nearby
restaurant,
kind of a bar and grill, pretty good food. I think it's called Maggie O'Brien's, and have like a reservation there for I think 20, but can possibly add more to it. If he's still in there, he can kind of drop some comments in or whatever. But so like a little, not really an after party, but a get together afterwards if people want to hang out and if they want to get some food or if you drink, if you want to get some drinks, whatever that looks like.
That might be Maggie O'Brien's is maybe like a mile or two from the hotel.
Yeah, it's not far. It's really close. So anybody who doesn't come in on a car that is coming in by airplane or whatever, we can make arrangements to make sure everybody gets over there and back. So awesome. It'll be a fun time just to hang out and just, have conversations, whatever.
Yep. Be with some good beekeepers. That's for sure.
Yep. Yeah. Matt and Alicia took the time and effort to go look around for that and kind of search some places out that were close that would accommodate us and not cost $1,000 for a space.
Yep, I understand that.
That's kind of hard to do nowadays, trying to find a space for, 20 or 30 people or more that doesn't cost $500 or $1,000.
Especially on a Saturday night.
Yeah, especially on a
Yeah.
weekend, it's just, it's difficult.
It's tough.
So,
Well, folks, we'll go ahead and end it there. Appreciate you being on tonight and being part of the chat. You guys are always awesome as always. And hopefully we'll see you guys. Well, I won't be here next Thursday, but hopefully my group's here. We'll see you next Thursday. So appreciate y'all.
We're going to try to stay warm down there in Louisiana.
still snowing down there.
Still snowing.
Poor guy, gonna have to get you some heat in that house. Hey, turn up the monitors or something like that and melt all that snow.
Yeah, kick them on high.
There you go.
Good night, y'all.
All right. Y'all have a good night.
Y'all.
Night.